Hey, welcome back everyone. Rob here from Ram Studio Comics. So today's video, I'm going to share some poses with you, and as you know, this is just a great way to warm up and really something you should try to do every day. In a perfect world, this is all we would do, right? Just draw poses. But it's a great way to kind of start envisioning some storytelling. And what I like to do is basically look at a few artists that are better than myself at doing certain poses. I think this one right here, even though I wasn't looking at the artwork, I was thinking about one I had seen earlier in the day by Stephen Platt. So if you haven't seen his work, you need to check it out. It's flipping amazing. But so it would have came out a lot better had I been actually looking at his pose. Again, I was doing this one more from memory, but it's a very typical superhero stance, kind of wide legs, holding the weapon, clenching the other fist. So I was just trying to remember some of that information. But I assure you, his version was way better than this. But these are just a great thing to do. I just can't stress it enough that it doesn't matter if they're not perfect, doesn't matter if they're a little bit skewed and all that. This is having fun, and this is a great way to get the gears in your brain going and ready to draw some comics. Um, and again, I will look at poses. Like I'll Google like some different artists. Sometimes I'll Google the actual character. So for instance, if I want to do a cool flying pose, I might Google Captain Marvel or even Wonder Woman. There's a lot of shots of her, flying through the air. And then I'll grab just a quick mannequin version of that, and then I will try to convert it a little bit to my own style. So I do the rough kind of stereometric approach, and then I soft erase with that Prismacolor kneaded eraser, by the way, using 2H lead here, and then I just draw over top of it to where I got a little bit more of the anatomy and a little bit more of the um, revised version of the character, but not in a way where it's perfection and it's ready for, I mean, it's probably ready to ink over if I wanted to, but it's not really that. It's like a little bit more of a refined mannequin. But I can take this and I can, do another revision over top, and I can definitely convert this to a piece of fan art or use it for some storytelling. But again, I think more importantly than that, it's just basically it gets my imagination going. It gets me ready to draw, and I feel very like warmed up, I guess. So I always call this more of a practice activity, but I don't know. I think it's just essential. I just talked about the lightning bolt method in a previous video, so I want to show that again right here. That again, it's very important for kind of fleshing out and getting ready to put in the anatomy. I feel like when I forget to do that, I have to rework it a little bit more. But if I throw that in first, then it becomes very easy for me to get those bends and curves and kind of rhythms of the anatomy as I'm drawing in the character. So it just seems to be a little bit better if I make sure to again use that lightning bolt method. I don't even know if that's what it's called, honestly, but it makes the most sense. Easy to explain it that way. And I think on this one, just so you know, I was actually looking at a popular picture of Superman. So if you can picture, and that the pose was actually more contorted. So again, I don't hold myself too accountable to getting some idea of perfection and drawing it exactly the way I saw it. I'm still trying to focus a little bit on speed here. I want to catalog a bunch of these. I think all four, there's four in this particular set that took me about a half hour. And that's a little bit slow, but you can see I'm trying to work through some of the anatomy as well. But again, I'm looking at a picture of Superman. I think it might have been Jim. I don't know who the artist was in this one, to tell you the truth. But but I really think it's important to look at those iconic, popular shots. They're popular for a reason. They worked for a reason, right? And then you can convert those to whoever. And I would imagine every artist does this, but a lot of times it seems like people think that you have to develop every aspect of this out of your imagination or you're cheating. You're not. I assure you're not. Just You just have to go for it and again, catalog lots of these and have fun with it. Now this last one, I want to do a little bit more foreshortening. See I'm playing around with the arms there, starting off with a little bit of a stick figure. Again, just there's a lightning bolt, just trying to kind of work that out and get placement of it. Uh, it's really important that you try to think as simplistically as you can about the body, at least going into it, at least in the very beginning. So instead of trying to draw an arm the way it looks, the way a leg looks, just get some shapes that at least tell the perspective, at least tell things like the overlap and the fact that things get bigger as they come out towards you and things like that. So worry more about the lengths and maybe proportions, but not the actual anatomy. Then the next stage you can start to sculpt in the anatomy. Now obviously if you're more knowledgeable about anatomy and you're better at those shapes, then it's going to come out better at this stage. You might need to rework it a couple times. Not a big deal. We're all at different levels. Some artists are going to look at this and go, "Wow, Rob, you just can't draw hips well yet." And some are going to look at it and go, "Wow, that pose looks perfect." So we're all at different levels, but the main thing is that you stage the work and you allow yourself to just kind of get the shapes down and build upon it. And then through revisions, you'll get better and better. All right, so that'll bring this video to a close. I hope you've enjoyed today's content. Keep in mind, I have art courses if you want to learn more. Those are on my own site under ramstudios.com. I even have a free course on thumbnail sketching, so you can kind of try and see if you like the content and then go from there. So as always, keep drawing, keep having fun, and I'll talk to you soon.